Yo, what is up, guys? How's it going? Coming at you with round 13 Dallas Regionals VOD review. We got Dean with the ZoroPod versus Hale with the Whale Lord Blastoise deck. We got Dean going first. Looks like Battle Compressor, and then the Raw Bridget for Zorua, Mr. Mime. Definitely would like to see him grab Ditto here if it's in the deck instead of a second Zorua. Well, maybe not. No, I definitely... I mean, you probably know the Whale Lord player plays Silent Lab, so even if they don't get off the GX attack, they can still Silent Lab you. So maybe I do actually, maybe I am actually fine with just the Zorua grab here. All right, we see the Battle Compressor here from Hale. Sign up Juniper, so that tells me he probably doesn't have the turn one in hand, and he's gonna have to go Juniper for the turn. That's the only reason you ever really grab Juniper, is when you're gonna go via Seeker for the Juniper. Yeah, and he does grab the Juniper, so I assume we're going to see Via Seeker for Juniper here, and will not be seeing the turn one Archies, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's not a huge deal. See choice beyond water. Yep, and then Via Seeker Juniper here from Hale. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Or so the hand not great, but it looks like he should be able to pull off an Archies on the next turn. I'd like to see him play the Battle Compressor here, get rid of eggs and stuff like that. That way he can't top deck it, and he just goes with a pass. So yeah. Definitely would like to have seen the Battle Compressor come out here from Hale. Get rid of your eggs, Kingdra, whatever. Thin it out a little bit more. You don't want to top deck any of those cards, so thin those cards out of your deck. As Hale over to Dean, we see a Zoroark evolve, Grass Energy, nothing else great going on. He's eyeing up the Colors. I would definitely like to see him trade. Yeah, I would definitely like to. He goes with the Colors here for 3. I would definitely like to see him trade first and try and find like the Juniper, or even the N isn't that bad. Hale does have a 7-card hand, so ending him down to 6 isn't that big of a deal. I really don't like the Colors play here from Dean. A Colors to 3 is just really weak. It really does not do a whole lot. Definitely would like to see him trade first, try and find a different option for a draw supporter, or just kind of a supporter for turn. Even Bridget this turn maybe wouldn't have been that bad. I don't know, if you like traded into a Zoroark and then traded into a Via Seeker for Bridget, then Bridget for a Wimpod and something else maybe. Colors feels really weak though. Maybe just a Wimpod even. Yeah, Colors does not feel good though. So there's the 3-card hand there from Dean. It's going to be a prop trade for 2 here. See Skyfield, another Zoroark. All right, prop trade again. 1, 2, another Zorua. All right. I guess Zorua is going to be coming down this turn. Yep, DC should definitely come to Zoroark. Give yourself the option to DC retreat the Grimer next turn, and then go for the poison with the Grimer. We'll see if we can get the poison damage. Nope, that's a Tails, and over to Hale. Top deck's a Silent Lab. Not a great top deck. You definitely want to see that after. I think actually GX attacking right now would be fine. 2 prizes on these, and then if the Grimer 6 gets stuck active, you draw another prize there. But if a Zoroark comes active, you draw 2 more prizes, and you can draw 2 more prizes to win the game. So the Silent Lab top deck isn't great. I do believe Hale plays 2 Silent Lab though. Let's see if it's in here. Oh, I didn't see it yet. I do believe he does play 2 Silent Lab though. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, he does play the 2 Silent Lab, so he can just discard this one and then look for the other one and then go for the GX attack. So that's what I like to see from him. Yeah, here's the Battle Compressor, and he's getting rid of 3 things he would have been able to get rid of anyways last turn. So you may as well Battle Compressor them last turn. Thin out your deck by those cards. You don't want to top, like I said, you don't want to top deck any of them. And I think he does have it set up here. 3, 4, draw here. Definitely probably should have got rid of the Kingdra over the Acerola though. I don't like getting rid of Acerola when you could get rid of the Kingdra. There's a computer search there. Going for the ordered pad. If he takes a computer search, he can for sure not. So now he has to put the Silent Lab in play, I believe. I have to see his hand again to pull off the Archies. He'll go Ultra Ball for Lele, but I would have definitely liked to have seen him grab the computer search, not put the Lele in play, leave that bench space open, not put Silent Lab in play, give yourself more options off the draw. Because if you put Silent Lab in play, you can't use Shaman after you use the Archies, and you're just gonna get stuck sometimes. There's another Kingdra look. Yeah, definitely would like to see him Battle Compressor away the Kingdra. There's an order pad tail. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen him grab the computer search. That way you don't have to put Silent Lab in play to pull off the Archies. Yeah, but now he is going to have to put Silent Lab in play. It'll have to be Ultra Ball for Lele. You also wouldn't have to put Lele in play. You would have to put Silent Lab or Lele in play to pull off Archies. Now he has to put both in play to pull off Archies. So I do not like him not grabbing the computer search there off the trainer's mail at all. Definitely should just grab the computer search. Keep your bench clean. Keep the Silent Lab out of play. That way you can dig with Shaman if you want to on the other side of this. There's another Water Attachment, Silent Lab, and the Archie. So yeah, you have a Lele and a Silent Lab in play when you just don't need them in play. Don't have to put them in play. And then yeah, there's Shaman. There's a whole ton of options off this Archie. So if he just didn't have Silent Lab in play, he could have dug super deep and maybe even GX this turn. Like I said, I think a GX this turn would be pretty good. GX knock out both these, and then you look to knock out a Zoroark. Both Zoroarks should be set up, so even if Field Blower is your choice band, you can still one-shot them with the 180. But now you're just kind of stuck with just knocking out the Grimer, which kind of just helps Dean. The Grimer's currently stuck in his active, and he can't do anything about it. So yeah, not a big fan of this play here by Hale. Putting the Lele in play, putting the Silent in play. Just grab the computer search, man. He has signed up the Superior. I do not like getting rid of the Shaman here because the Stadium is probably going to be bumped by Dean pretty soon, and then you just won't. Stadium is probably going to be bumped by Dean pretty soon, and then you'd be able to use the Shaman again. So I don't like getting rid of Shaman. I would much rather see him get rid of the Professor's Letter instead of the Shaman. The Battle Compressor and the Professor's Letter. And yeah, now he's just going to knock out Grimer for 1 prize. Not a great turn as far as the prize trade goes. Dean sends up Zoroark here. Draws into a Lele. Definitely needs to hit this Wailord pretty hard to set up the 2-shot. So we're going to have to see him dig a little deep here to find everything. Could just go with Skyfield plus be a Seeker for Bridget, actually, if he wanted to. I think getting like a Juniper or a Coral should be a little bit better. Draw some more cards. Get some more options. Holy moly, excuse me. Yeah, he does go with the Juniper here. So he's going to go with the Juniper for 7. He's got Grass Energy in hand. We'll probably see that come down on the Lele. So he has the Retreat option. But if he overbenches, actually, I doubt he knows Hale plays 2 Silent Lab. So if he does overbench here, he's going to run into a situation where he definitely could get punished for the second Silent Lab that Hale has. 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has yet to trade. Can go with the prop trade now. Prop trade 1. Needs a couple more bench Pokemon in play. Prop trade 2. I see he has a Choice Band. He has Rescue Stretcher. I think he has Super Rod in hand as well. He has Computer Search. I would definitely like to see him Computer Search for another Zoroark here. Just so you can trade again. Just keep trading. There's no reason to stop. He's eyeing up the Wimpod. You don't need the Wimpod this turn. You need the Wimpod next turn to potentially knock out a second Wailord. But if you're going to 2-shot this first Wailord with Zoroark plus Lele, maybe even, you don't need the Wimpod this turn. So yeah, I don't like the Wimpod grab here from Dean. You don't need it this turn. You need the Wimpod next turn. So I'd like to see him just get another Zoroark and just trade again. Get another trade in there. Draw as many cards as possible. Let's see. So he's doing 120, 140. Doing quite a bit of damage here. So I would also like to see the Choice Band in his hand hit the Wimpod as well. Going Lele for Guzma. Yeah, so he should have actually used the Lele. He had the Lele in hand before he started trading. He should have Lele for the Guzma before then. That way you don't draw into the supporter or take a supporter out of your deck. Probably the Guzma either way. Yeah, so I would like to see the Choice Band hit the Wimpod here. Checking discard pile again. Looks like he's going to eye up the Grimer with the Stretcher. I'm fine with that. So you're hitting for 160 now. Sounds good to me. Yeah. He didn't put the Choice Band on the. I think he should have probably put the Choice Band on. But I guess maybe you can hold it. You're probably not going to get ended this turn as Dean. So yeah, there is 4 Pokemon in play for the GX attack to clean up here. If Hale can find the second Silent Lab, which is definitely the play he should go for. Use the second Silent Lab. And get off the GX attack. Ideally, we'll see what he ends up with here. There's an Ultra Ball. Gonna grab Shaman. I think he has a Trainer's Mail in hand. I'm not 100% sure. He's a VA Seeker and a couple Water Energy. So he's very close. All he needs to do is find the Silent Lab, and he will be able to pull off the GX attack for sure. Yeah, dumps the water to the active, and then set up for 5. There's a Battle Compressor. Should definitely see him. Well, you can start with the Order Pad, actually. It's a Tails. Now we should see the Battle Compressor before the Trainer's Mail. There it is. Get rid of Kingdra, Ultra Ball, Lele probably. I don't think the Lele is going to be useful. I don't see a single supporter left in the deck, so yeah. Kingdra, Lele. Eyeing up the Field Blower. Gets rid of the Field Blower. I don't like him actually getting rid of the Field Blower, because a play you could make is if you can find a Field Blower and then bump Dean's Stadium before you show him the second Silent Lab, because I don't think Dean knows there's a second Silent Lab. If Dean knew there was a second Silent Lab, he definitely wouldn't bench these 3 Pokemon if he knew there was a second Silent Lab. So Dean not knowing there's a second Silent Lab, if Hale can find a Field Blower the Skyfield, meaning Dean has to discard bench Pokemon, but without knowing that there's a second Silent Lab, he'll probably discard both Lele's, and then there's still 4 Pokemon in play that you can clean up with the GX attack. So as Hale here, I don't like him discarding the Field Blower, because I think you want to try and find one of those before you find the Silent Lab, and then you put the Silent Lab in play. There's a Trainer's Mail to... Oh, and he finds the second Field Blower. So I guess never punished here for Hale as he finds the second Field Blower. Hopefully he goes for that play and plays the Field Blower right now. Gets rid of the Sky Field. So it's removing the Sky Field, meaning Dean does have to minimize his bench a little bit. But you're not telling him that you have a second Silent Lab. There's the Field Blower. There goes one Lele. Looking at the second Lele to go. I actually don't like the discard of the second. If Dean does go discard second Lele here, I don't actually like it because it's currently acting as a pivot for the Gliscopod. So I would currently like him to get rid of the Grimer for sure. Because there's the energy on the Lele. It acts as a pivot. Yeah, he does go with the Lele discard. Definitely would have liked to have seen him get rid of the Grimer instead. And then there's the Via Seeker for the Juniper. And if he does find the Silent Lab, Dean is going to get fully punished here for sure. There's the Juniper. There's the Silent Lab, so we're going to see the GX attack for sure come out here from Hale. I also want to see him definitely bench the Wailord and attach the Water. Maybe even put the Choice Band on it on his bench. We'll see what he goes with here. Yeah, definitely want to see that Wailord come down. There we go. Come on. Stick. All right. Oh, thinking about it. Yeah, there's no reason to keep it in play. Yeah. Wailord, Water Energy. Silent Lab. Yep. I don't think Dean expected the second Silent Lab for sure. He saw the first one go out and he's like, okay, I'm done. I'm through that. And then there's the GX attack from Hale. And once again, this whole play was able to be set up because Hale found the second Field Blower and he was able to play it first. If he had just played the Silent Lab, Dean just discards probably the Grimer and the Zorua and maybe even the Mr. Mime, meaning if Hale wants to GX attack and KO a Wimpod, you're like, sure, go for it. Oh, you don't even be able to discard 2. So you discard like Grimer and Mr. Mime, and you're like, okay, if you want a GX attack, you get 2 prizes, not 4 prizes, which is a huge difference. And you don't get to KO everything on Dean's board. But because he went Field Blower first, Dean was like, okay, I'm just going to discard these Lele's. You just let me get rid of the free Lele's. And then second Silent Lab comes down, and then all of a sudden he can't just choose what he discards anymore because the stadium's already been moved. So Hale's in a super good spot here. I don't think Dean will be able to. The one play you can look for as Dean in this point when you're playing against Wailord in general is you can bring up their Blastoise because they're like out of energy and sometimes don't play switch cards. And we do see Dean counting the Via Seekers here for outs for Guzma because the Guzma is also in the discard pile. There's 2 Via Seekers left, so I don't think we're going to see Dean going for the Guzma up Blastoise. Hope it gets stuck strategy. I think we're gonna have to go into panic mode and play N here if you're Dean. Choice Band makes his way to the active. You do need a KO this whale. This is definitely too big of a threat to leave active, just chilling. And we do see the super out here from Dean for 3 basic Pokemon. He does need some basic Pokemon to be able to pull off a knockout here. And we'll probably see the Via Seeker for the N. There it is. I definitely want to see him not put Skyfield in play because we do want to limit Hale's ability still. When you end him down to 1, you don't want to give him access to Shaman, Egg, anything like that. Make it easier for him to set up another Wailord or to take knockouts. So I definitely want to see Dean leave the Silent Lab in play. Yep, he does. And then there's the N for 6. He still has access to 2 trades. And if he is able to knock out the Wailord this turn, he's actually in like a kind of a fine spot. Ending Hale down to 1 doesn't leave Hale with a ton of options. Getting N down to 1 when Silent Lab is in play as well is pretty tough because you don't have access to Egg. So if you get like Ultra Ball or Superior Energy Retrieval, you just can't use them on that turn. You have to wait another turn. So we see the draw for 6 here from Dean. I see 4 basic Pokemon in the hand. So he is doing, I see 4 basic Pokemon in the hand, so he's doing 150, which is enough. So I'm not sure why he traded the Egg over the Communication here. Because he had the exact knockout, and it was possible he would whiff knockout if he trades that away. So I don't like that trade there from Dean. He definitely should have kept that Egg and traded the Communication. Maybe he forgot about Silent Lab and then remembered immediately after. He didn't go for a prop trade, so I'm assuming he remembered. Looks like he's not going to get punished here though because he does have an Ultra Ball, so he will be able to find enough basic Pokemon. Yeah, Bunnelby and Lele should make their way to the field now. But he does need 1 more, and that Egg could have been it, but he did choose to get rid of that. Yeah, definitely a unnecessarily risky play. He is discarding the Communication anyways. You definitely want to keep that Gliscopod because you could win the game next turn If Hail doesn't win on his turn, you can just go Choice Band, Golisopod, Grass, Guzma. He already has the Golisopod and the Guzma. Knock out that Wailord on the bench and draw your last 3 prizes, because the team up Pokemon are worth 3 prizes. So yeah, I think definitely a mistake here by Dean in trading away that egg. Should have traded away the communication. That should have been your first trade. You had the knockout in hand, set up, ready to go. There's no reason to like risk maybe not drawing into it. There's still a good chance you draw into a basic Pokemon, but there's also a chance you whiff. We see draw pass here from Hail. So the end worked. The Silent Lab stayed in play, worked. So we definitely don't want to see Dean change up either of those things. And he can actually go with the KO on the Blastoise here this turn if he wants. Gotta trade first. He's gonna get rid of Ditto. Fine with that. Keep access to the Skyfield as an option. He gets the Grass Energy, so he has Golisopod, Guzma, Grass, knock out the Blastoise if he wants. I think that's probably the play we will see if he doesn't find the Choice Man to just win the game with the first impression on the Wailord. There's the second trade. I don't see anything real great in the hand. There's the Grass Energy. There's the Golisopod. Eyeing up the Guzma. But we're probably going to see knockout on the Blastoise. So I don't even think Hail would probably has a good enough top deck to win the game anymore at this point. I think this game is just... it's all Dean. I think Dean is going to take this one from here. Quite the change up after we saw the second Silent Lab come down and Hail draw 4 prizes. And plus leaving Silent Lab in play. Really stuck it out there. And I think we are going to see, yep, Dean does take game 1. And unfortunately in game 2 there is a player error and we do see Dean winning game 2. So we're not going to move on to game 2. We only get to see the game 1. A little sloppy from both sides. The Colress turn 1 from Dean. The Silent Lab turn 2 from Hail. Not grabbing the computer search, that is, and just discarding the Silent Lab. So a little sloppy on both sides here. Yeah, the Colress turn 1 was the big thing from Dean, but I think from there it was pretty clean. Not setting up the third Zoroark on the Zorua was another thing from Dean, going for the Wimpod instead. When you don't need the Wimpod till the next turn, you have plenty of time to find the Wimpod. Hail side, a little sloppy, getting rid of the second field blower with the compressor, putting the Silent Lab in play on turn 2. I definitely think that was a mistake, limiting his options off of his draw off the Archies for pretty much no reason. But yeah, a little sloppy on both sides, but we do see Dean walking away with a 2-0 to an unfortunate player error in game 2, so we're not even going to go into the game 2. Sudowoodo in play and Hail by accidentally overbenched, and it was too deep into the draws for them to do anything about it. So it is a 2-0 for Dean with the ZoroPod, and that's going to do it for round 13. Thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and links to my social medias as well as my Twitch live stream in the description below. Be sure to check all that good stuff out. Have a good day, and peace.